Right, video number 2 for today. And today I want to talk about some ways in which you can grow your practice, get more referrals. I'm going to give you some practical tips as well as just kind of share some thoughts. I feel like I can make endless videos about this topic. This is a question people are always asking, and rightfully so. Getting referrals and clients is how we run our businesses as therapists in private practice, right? So great question to ask. How do I grow the practice? How do I get more referrals? And so we're going to talk about that today. But the first thing I do have to share is oftentimes people are asking this question right when they start. Now, people are going to continue to ask it, but for those who are just starting out in private practice, yes, there are practical things we can do, and I made a lot of videos about that already. I'm going to talk about it today as well. But the first thing we have to keep in mind is that it just takes time. All right, there are the outliers where their practices grow like really fast, seemingly overnight, and they maybe have a lot of connections and they're able to fill a caseload like in a month, right? I know people who have done that. And then if you're someone like me or other people I know, it could take 6, 7, 8 months to fill your caseload. And during those 6, 7, 8 months, you don't want to just be frantically trying to make all sorts of adjustments to build your caseload. You do want to do things. You want to market and learn about marketing and learn about making good profiles. At the same time, a part of the process is just the time it takes. All right, so just want to normalize that because people can get really freaked out, right? And myself included. That's how I was. But looking back, I know it takes time. Similarly, for people who are going through the ups and downs of the year in private practice, and there are ups and downs in this business, right? There are busy times and there are slow times. And we do see common patterns. For example, you'll often see an uptick in referrals in January and February because it's the start of the new year. At least I think that's what it is. And you might actually see a downtick in the summer. People go away and they're on vacation. Now, of course, this might vary from specialty to specialty, provider to provider, but you will see people talking about this in the larger private practice community, right? They'll see these kind of waves. Now, yes, again, we want to kind of work on marketing all the time and getting better at building referral base, but most people don't beat the waves. Like, this is just a part of it, right? So I want to just normalize a little bit that a part of being in private practice is that there's going to be slow times. There's going to be times where referrals don't come in. This is just part of the process, right? Now, of course, we do want to try to build a practice that just has constant referrals, right? That's everyone's dream. And we'll work on that. At the same time, most people don't ever get there and they do just fine, okay? They do just fine navigating the ebbs and flows. You'll eventually fill up. If you're doing a group practice, you will eventually fill up your therapist. I promise you. We can all just, all right? With that out of the way, let's talk about a couple ways we can grow our practices. Now, the first is, and everyone already has done this, especially when they come and talk to me, I have psychology today, that's kind of working. I've got my Alma profile, I've got whatever directory it is, and that's all good, right? And now again, those are going to go through ups and downs, moments where you get a lot, moments where you don't get much. And I am a proponent, get on as many directories as you can, right? You don't want to go bananas with it, and you don't have to be listed on 20. But if you can be listed on 3, 4, 5 directories, why not? That gets your name out there as best as, as much as you can. With also, though, one directory that most people are not on when they talk to me is ZocDoc. I understand it costs more money. It is a bit more costly, especially up front with no guarantees. However, ZocDoc is a place where people are looking for therapy. All right? We can't argue with it. People find their therapists on there, primary care doctors. It's a well-known directory. If you are looking to grow your practice and your referral sources and you have not tried ZocDoc, I would give it a try. Now, I'm not a spokesman for ZocDoc. I actually avoided using it for years, and I recently decided to try it, and it's been good. Is it going to explode your practice? It's not going to do that. Is it going to give you some referrals pretty consistently? Sure, absolutely. I would give it a try. I personally think it's worth the investment. you have to give it a try for yourself. But again, I talk to people and they're like, I don't want to. I said, have you tried ZocDoc? No. Give ZocDoc a try. Give it a shot. See if it works for you. Almost all the people I've talked to, they say it works. Okay. So, and that's because people are on there looking for a therapist. So you can try that. I'm going to go through a whole bunch. I didn't write anything down. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head here. Another thing you can do, and this I wouldn't be doing, I would not do this all the time. And once you grow enough, you won't need to do this at all. But if you're just starting out and you're really itching for referrals, what you can do is you can go on to the Facebook communities that, therapists, all the private practice communities, just go on Facebook, private practice, look at the communities, and you'll find a whole bunch of communities where people are asking for referrals. So they'll say, ISO, in search of, and you can spend an hour responding to those, right? Spend some time looking at those, responding to those. When I first started and I was really itching to build my caseload and to get my reputation out there, I would spend an hour or two just responding to ISO requests. And of course, again, nothing's going to explode your practice. But 1 or 2, 3 would come in, and it would be from there, right? So give that a try if you're really itching for referrals. I think that could be really helpful. Another thing you can do, if you haven't done this before, is sign up for Google My Business. Now, before you do that, I have created an entire tutorial, which I'll leave a link down below. But Google My Business is a completely free it's not a directory. It's a completely free listing that you can create, and you'll show up on Google Maps. So this is more going to be for local people. You can still be virtual, right? But they might, let's say they DBT near me. If you're listed on Google My Business and someone searches that, if you're like on maps, if you search like food near me, you show up on the map results and it comes up first. You could potentially end up on Google searches first in Google Maps, and it's free. So why not try Google My Business? That's another option for you. Again, not going to explode your business, but certainly going to provide some helpful resource. It's not going to helpful resource. What am I saying? It's going to helpfully give you a couple more referrals. And another thing to kind of keep in mind is that, as a therapist or even as a group practice owner, for most people, right, we don't need 10 or 20 referrals a week. In fact, if that was the case, you'd eventually have to stop taking people pretty quickly. So if you really think about it this way, we don't really need many more than 2, 3 a week. At that pace, you'll be filled up relatively quickly. And then again, you're going to have some weeks where you get a bunch and then some weeks where you don't get many. But think small. You don't need many referrals per week or even per month to get filled up, right? 3, 4, 5, right? Think along those numbers. Okay, and that's kind of what we're talking about. And then another thing you can consider doing is, I guess it's twofold. One is you can consider taking insurance, right? So whether that be getting paneled on your own, signing up with a platform like Alma or Headway, but being able to take insurance is going to be huge. Most people, in my experience, are looking to use their health insurance for therapy, which makes sense to me. So being able to take insurance, you're going to expand your reach to different people who are interested in therapy. And then for those who don't take insurance, or for the panels you're not able to get on, I would encourage you to try something like Thrizer. This is going to be a tool that you can use as a provider and connect clients to it that will help them obtain out-of-network benefits. A lot of people do have out-of-network benefits. They just don't know how to use them or how to tap into them. Rightfully so, it's confusing. The insurance companies don't make it easy at all, but Thrizer does. So for example, if I have a client and we're not able to take their insurance, I will say, hey, we can hook you up with Thrizer, and then Thrizer will verify if they do or do not have out-of-network benefits. And when they do, they're usually decent, like reimbursing a good amount of the session. And then better yet is not only Thrizer Thrizer's not only going to verify the benefit, but Thrizer's also going to do all the work. They're going to get the reimbursement for the client. This is huge. The client doesn't have to do any of that, like calling the insurance, submitting super bills. Thrizer does it all. I've been a proponent. I've been using them for a while now. And this makes it much easier, right? If you're going to be out of network or you don't take a particular insurance, when you are talking to the client, you say, oh, we use Thrizer. That makes it much more appealing. Now, again, Thrizer is not a marketing tool, but it can help in your marketing endeavors to be able to add that, to add, say, hey, we have this service, and it makes it easy to use your out-of-network benefits. So I would give that a try as well if you haven't. Yeah, these are just some of my thoughts. I was just kind of thinking about this question. I have, I know, we can talk about this topic all day, but for the sake of today's video, I thought that would be helpful. But yeah, if you're watching this and you have other ideas, please go ahead and leave them down below in the comments. There are, of course, other ways that we can market. We can invest in Google Ads. We can invest in a marketing company, all things I've talked about before. But the ones I mentioned today are things that fly under the radar. A lot of people don't really try them or talk about them. But yeah, give those a try. I'd love to know how they work out for you. And until next time, I will see you in the next video.